Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the podcast. And today I am going to go my review of Monday Night Raw. Starting off the night, we have Jey Uso coming out to the ring, grabs a microphone. Pretty much, Jey shows off the new Intercontinental title. I don't know if you guys watched Raw last night, man, but when Jey was walking through the crowd, like he usually does, the Intercontinental Championship looks a lot different than what it once was. It looks like he added some blue to the title. Looks like the side plates got some blue added to them, as well as the center plate of the belt as well. Got a little blue added to it, man. Actually, I think this version of the belt looks nice, or better, if you will, than the belts that were held by Braun Breaker or Gunther. Man, this belt's great, and hopefully the way this belt looks, stays around for quite a while. Man, the Intercontinental Championship is a big deal and always has been for WWE. Like I said, Jey grabs a microphone. He thanks the fans. Jey says that his family and Roman didn't make his journey easy. Jey says that his mom is his biggest fan. After that, Braun Breaker comes out to the ring. Mixed feelings from the crowd. Breaker says that he's out here out of respect for the Intercontinental title and what the Intercontinental title means to him and his family. Breaker says that he respects Jey. Breaker says that Jey was the better man that night in their title fight for the Intercontinental title. And it looks like Braun Breaker is turning babyface after what was a heel run, man. And to be honest with you, man, a lot of people were saying that Braun, was kind of like hot potato in the belt, that, WWE kind of, killed his career off already. I don't believe that, man. I think Braun is going to be one of those forces to be reckoned with within WWE, especially Monday Night Raw. And he's going to have a hell of a career, man. Braun's still very young in the game, and he has a lot to learn still. And he, when he came into the main roster, man, they instantly put him in high-profile matches and in really good storylines. Obviously with Sami Zayn and Jey Uso. So, this is not the last time we're going to see Braun in the ring, and this is damn sure not going to be the last time that we see Braun Breaker with championship gold around his waist. So I just want people to, understand that just because Jey won doesn't mean that Breaker's, his career is done. Do I believe Jey Uso was the right guy to win that matchup for the Intercontinental title? Absolutely. And like I said last week or the week before that Jey Uso has literally done everything in his career up to this point to deserve that title shot, man. He has busted his ass to get to this point. And again, my thing is, with utmost respect to Jey Uso, definitely deserves it, man. And honestly, like I said, for the body of work that he has put in up to this point, he's been with WWE now for I believe, 14, 15 years. It was about time for Jey Uso to have some singles gold around his waist, and I'm happy with the decision with WWE that they allowed Jey Uso to have this match with Braun, and Jey Uso obviously to get the win over Braun to become the new Intercontinental Champion. Moving on from that, we go into our first official match of the night. It's Xavier Woods versus Rey Mysterio. I thought it was a good match, man. It was a back-and-forth matchup between Woods and Mysterio, with Woods keeping the pace of the match. Mysterio hits a West Coast pop on Woods, as well as a springboard moonsault to the outside. Woods then takes Rey's mask off, which allows Woods to hit a roll-up, pins for the 3, and your winner of the match is Xavier Woods. Hats off to Woods for getting the win in that matchup. Moving on from that, we go into our next match of the night. It is Lyra Valkyria versus Zoe Starks. Thought it was a decent match. Back and forth matchup between Valkyria and Starks, with Valkyria keeping the pace of the match. The Pure Fusion Collective calls a distraction with the referee, which allows Zoe Starks to hit the finish on Valkyria. Pins for the 3, and your winner of the match is Zoe Starks. Hats off to Zoe Starks for getting the win in this matchup. Moving on from that, we have a Drew McIntyre and CM Punk segment. Drew and Punk come out to the ring. They are met with Adam Pearce as well as WWE security. They walked out to the ring. The ring is actually covered with the Cell, the Hell in a Cell matchup that will take place this Saturday between Punk and McIntyre. Drew grabs a microphone. Drew says that after this match, Punk will be destroyed at Bad Blood. Drew says that he plans on retiring Punk and celebrating after retiring CM Punk from in-ring action. Punk then grabs a microphone, mocks Drew. Punk says that he has been living in a hotel for the past 4 weeks because he does not want his wife to see the man that he's become over the past few weeks dealing with this Drew McIntyre issue. Punk says that he plans to end Drew McIntyre's career and send him back to Scotland. Punk says that Drew will be praying to CM Punk. Now, a couple of things I want to talk about with this, man, quickly. Number one, this whole storyline here between Punk and Drew has been absolutely great. And, hats off to WWE, man, because I really didn't know how they were going to put Punk into the fold with WWE, and he's done a hell of a job since he's been back. This is a high-profile matchup, a marquee matchup for Bad Blood, probably the main event if I'm not mistaken, for Bad Blood, which it should be the main event. There's a lot of hostility here between Drew and Punk, man, and honestly, I'm kind of torn on who I think might win. I mean, on one side of the hand, of the side, you can see Drew winning. The other side of the coin, you can see Punk winning. I mean, there's a lot of what ifs in this matchup, man. And Hell in a Cell matches, if you guys know anything about Hell in a Cell, man, those matches are brutal to, not only to watch, but brutal for the superstars that are involved in this matchup, man. So this is going to be a crazy, crazy match. I'm definitely looking forward to it this weekend at WWE's Bad Blood on Saturday. Moving on from that, we go into a tag team matchup. It is the Judgment Day versus LWO. Thought it was a decent match, back and forth matchup between the Judgment Day and LWO, with Judgment Day keeping the pace of the match. Liv Morgan is ringside. She causes a distraction with the referee, which allowed Finn Balor to attack one of the members from LWO, which allowed Judgment Day to get the victory in this matchup. After that, Finn grabs a microphone. He mocks Damian Priest. Liv says that she's going to prove that she's the best women's champion of all time. After that, Rhea Ripley comes out to the ring. She's on the stage. Rhea then mocks Dominic. Rhea then says Liv isn't as good as she thinks she is, or good as her. And then Priest and Rhea attack the Judgment Day. So it looks like there's some unfinished business there, and just tying up loose ends leading up to Bad Blood, where Rhea has a match with Liv Morgan, and if I'm not mistaken, Priest has a match with Finn Balor as well. Definitely looking forward to that. Moving on from that, we go into our next match of the evening. It is Chad Gable versus Kofi Kingston. It was a decent match, back and forth matchup with Gable keeping the pace of the match. Gable applies an ankle lock, but the hold is quickly broken. Kofi then goes for a Trouble in Paradise, but Woods grabs Gable's leg to stop the Trouble in Paradise, which allowed Gable to hit the finish on Kofi Kingston. Pins for the 3, and your winner of the match is Chad Gable. Hats off to Chad Gable for getting the win in this matchup. Moving on from that, we have a Gunther segment. He comes out to the ring, grabs a microphone. Gunther mocks Sami Zayn. Zayn quickly comes out to the ring. Zayn then says that he wants the World Heavyweight title shot. The title shot that Gunther has been constantly telling Sami Zayn no. Gunther then finally tells Sami Zayn that he is not on his level, even though Zayn says that he beat Gunther at WrestleMania. Gunther then mocks Zayn. Gunther says that Zayn will never be World Heavyweight Champion. Zayn then mocks Gunther. Gunther then attacks Zayn. Zayn then gets up, hits an exploder suplex on Gunther into the corner. Gunther gets up, hits a power bomb, devastating power bomb on Sami Zayn in the middle of the ring. And then Gunther picks up the microphone again and says that he will give Sami Zayn his World Heavyweight title match. Seems like Sami Zayn finally got what he wanted, which was a World Heavyweight title match opportunity, and Gunther gave him that opportunity. So definitely looking forward to that match. If I had to guess, that match is probably going to take place at Bad Blood, or at least I'm hoping it takes place at Bad Blood. Moving on from that, we go into a tag team matchup. It is R-Truth finally returning after the attack that he sustained from Bronson Reed with the multiple tsunamis that Reed landed on R-Truth, taking him off the scene for Monday Night Raw for a couple weeks. They're going up against AOP. It was a decent match, back and forth matchup with AOP keeping the pace of the match. R-Truth goes to tag in Miz. Miz looks like he was going to attack one of the members from AOP, but he turns around and kicks R-Truth in the face. Miz then walks away from the ring. He leaves R-Truth behind. AOP then hits the finish on R-Truth, pins for the 3. And your winner of the match, or winners of the match, are AOP. It looks like the Miz has turned his back on R-Truth, is now going to be turning heel. A lot of interesting stuff coming out of that matchup between Miz and R-Truth. Moving on from that, we go into the main event on Monday Night Raw. It is a last monster standing matchup. It is Bronson Reed versus Braun Strowman. I thought this was a great match, man. Back and forth matchup between Reed and Strowman, with Strowman keeping the pace of the match. Strowman then puts Reed through the announce table. Braun then hits Reed with a chair shot. Reed then hits a Death Valley driver through the tables. Reed then hits a tsunami. Referee is distracted with the front row barricade being taken out. Reed then hits another tsunami on Strowman. Reed then was going to attack Pierce. Reed then hits a superplex off the top rope. The ring collapses. Then all of a sudden, Seth Rollins shows up. Rollins hits a foot stomp on Reed on the steel steps. Referee counts to 10. Braun Strowman gets up, and your winner of the match is Braun Strowman. Hats off to Braun Strowman for getting the win in this matchup. Couple of things I want to talk about, man, when it pertains to Monday Night Raw before I get the hell up out of here. Number one, was it a good show last night? Absolutely. I said this, for my SmackDown upload for Friday, man. To me, and again, it might be a hot take for a lot of people, man, but it seems like the main roster when it pertains to Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, it's can't miss television, man. And from the Bloodline on SmackDown to what the Judgment Day are doing to Bronson Reed, now we got the return of Seth Rollins after he's been out for about 2 months. it's can't miss television, man. And not only that, the way that the build up towards Bad Blood, I think Bad Blood is going to be one of those underrated PLEs for WWE. I think it's going to be sold out. It's live from Atlanta, Georgia. I think it's going to be sold out, man. I don't think there's going to be an empty seat in that house. The way that the card is stacking up, you got Liv and Rhea for the women's heavyweight championship. I believe you got Finn Balor and Damian Priest. You got Cody Rhodes teaming up with Roman Reigns, taking on Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. I think we might see something with LA Knight. I think we also might see something with Gunther versus Sami Zayn. There's a lot of stuff going on for Bad Blood. And the build-up, we got CM Punk as well as Drew McIntyre. I can't believe I almost forgot about that match. That match probably will main event. It should main event Bad Blood. There's a lot of hostility there between McIntyre and Punk. And just the name fits, man. Bad Blood. You got some bad blood here between McIntyre and CM Punk. It should main event this weekend's PLE for Bad Blood. But this card looks absolutely stacked, man. And Monday Night Raw is doing a hell of a job with the build-up towards Bad Blood, especially when it pertains to CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. This is going to be a banger match, ladies and gentlemen. These two guys are going to tear the goddamn house down at Bad Blood, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. And like I told you guys earlier, man, it's really, it's a double-edged sword, man, if you really look at it. On one side of the coin, you see CM Punk. He could go over and get the win on McIntyre, or you can look at Drew McIntyre, who, as of late, has been a force to be reckoned with when it pertains to CM Punk, man. He's got the betterment, if you will, on CM Punk. So it's going to be a lot of things that are going to be very interesting that plays out at Bad Blood from CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, especially on the other side for SmackDown. It's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out between Roman teaming up with Cody Rhodes taking on Fatu and Solo Sikoa. There's going to be a lot of moving parts, a lot of interesting factors going on at Bad Blood this weekend, and so I'm definitely looking forward to that. And like I said, man, Monday Night Raw was a hell of a show. Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed closed out the show in a last monster standing match, which honestly didn't disappoint. I know some people might not be all for this matchup, but to be honest with you, man, it was not disappointing. Reed and Strowman have been tearing the house down here for the past couple weeks, and this was a great match. It was a hell of a match. We get the return, like I said, of Seth Rollins. He's been out for about 2 months due to the attacks from Bronson Reed, where Reed landed multiple tsunamis off the top rope on Rollins, which took Rollins off the scene for about 2 months. And then we get the heel turn from The Miz, turning his back on his friend, his brother, if you will, with R-Truth. And looks like Miz is turning heel with the helps of Cross. So, I mean, again, man, there's a lot of things, a lot of moving parts going on, man. And I'm definitely intrigued on what's going to happen at Bad Blood. Definitely intrigued with Friday Night SmackDown this week, which will be the go-home show leading up to Bad Blood. Definitely looking forward to that. And like I said, man, WWE, is really hard to say anything negative about the show, to be honest with you. I think the one negative I will say, as far as Raw, if I had to critique it that badly or in a negative spotlight, I would probably have to say the matchup between Xavier Woods and Mysterio, the way it ended, I felt like it was kind of sloppy, to be honest with you. The Woods taking off the mask of Mysterio and, getting the roll-up, it just, to me, it seems sloppy. You know what I mean? A lot of people do that in WWE and in AEW, especially when it pertains to a luchador in pro wrestling. It's easy to try to take off a mask of a luchador to get the quick roll-up in the pin. So I felt like it was kind of cheesy, lackadaisical booking on their part, to be honest with you. But as far as Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston are concerned, in my honest opinion, I think Woods is definitely turning heel. If you look at just, what Woods has been doing for the past few weeks, he's been picking fights and arguments with Kofi. He was pissed off with Rey Mysterio and LWO, hence the reason why Mysterio had a match with Xavier Woods last night. It just seems like Woods is going in a different direction. Obviously, the New Day is not what it once was, and it's been on the decline. It's been on the decline ever since Big E got injured, and he's been off the scene from WWE since that injury. So, and I don't know if Big E is ever going to come back in a wrestling capacity for the New Day or WWE, for that matter. So, I mean, things had to change. Obviously, a New Day is not what it once was. Kofi, both Xavier Woods and Kofi could go in a singles run, especially Kofi Kingston. I mean, he was a former WWE World Heavyweight Champion, former Intercontinental Champion as well, I believe former United States Champion. So Kofi could have a hell of a singles run too. And the biggest question out of that would be how would Woods do as a singles competitor? That's the biggest question. And I think Woods will be turning heel and turning his back on Kofi Kingston. I think it's going to happen here relatively soon, just the way things are starting to play out. But like I said, man, Raw was not bad at all last night. I'm definitely intrigued for Bad Blood. I think it's one of those PLEs, like I told you guys earlier, that is severely underrated. I think this card's going to be stacked from top to bottom. I think it's a can't-miss PLE from WWE. And I would be watching, man. I'll be doing a review for Bad Blood as well, just like I do with all the PLEs now. And I'm excited, man. I'm definitely intrigued on what the hell's going to go on. And this, like I said, this matchup, this card, if you will, for Bad Blood from top to bottom is absolutely stacked. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. The other thing I want to quickly talk about too, man, and I know I talked about this, I believe, yesterday when I did my SmackDown review. I told you guys that I might be reviewing NXT depending on my personal schedule and stuff like that and everything that's been going on. Schedule has been kind of hectic here as of late. But I will say this, we do have some good news. I will be covering NXT and giving you guys a review on that for tomorrow. So that will happen. NXT obviously is moving over to the new network. They have a new home now with the CW network. I believe they will be live tonight, if I'm not mistaken, for NXT. I'm pretty sure. So I definitely want to tune into that. I'll give you guys a review for that as well. So, I mean, again, Monday Night Raw, man, they're firing all cylinders. Absolutely. And like I said, I wanted to give you guys an update on the whole NXT thing. And like I told you guys a minute ago or a second ago, there will be a review for NXT's debut episode on the CW network. And I will be giving you guys that NXT post show tomorrow. So I'm definitely excited for that. It looks like NXT's cooking up a lot of stuff going over to the CW network. I know CM Punk is going to be a part of that show for their debut episode on the CW network. We might get a surprise. I know Shawn Michaels was hitting around for a couple surprises. I think one of those surprises that we might get, maybe night one of the debut episode of the CW network, we might get the debut of the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. They might make their debut on the debut episode of NXT on the CW network, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. But like I told you guys, just want to let y'all know that I will be covering that show, and I will be giving you guys an NXT post show tomorrow for the NXT show on the CW network. So I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on with that. But like I said, man, as far as Raw, I mean, Raw from top to bottom, it was a really good show, and Raw honestly couldn't miss. It was a solid show, and the build, man, the build up towards Bad Blood, it's going to be one of those interesting PLEs, man. There's going to be a lot of questions, I think, coming out of Bad Blood and that PLE. So I'm definitely excited for that. And like I said, man, there's a lot of intriguing matchups for Bad Blood this week, and I'm definitely excited for. And I will be giving you guys a review for WWE's Bad Blood for this weekend. So, but that being said, though, this is my review of Monday Night Raw. I hope you guys are out there staying safe. Be careful, and remember, stay classic. Peace.